Oh, hey guys. You're probably wondering what I'm doing taking wire cutters to our giveaway Telecaster. Well, I guess you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. Hi guys, your Guitar Goomba Lucky here again. And today, I'm going to address a little issue we have with our giveaway Telecaster here, namely the bridge pickup. When I was installing the bridge and doing the electronics, the bridge pickup wire came out. Really thin wire, not the greatest quality, and the wire broke. So, I figured I could fix it, but it seemed like a really good excuse for an upgrade. So, that's what I have here today. I have an Alnico V magnet bridge pickup for our Telecaster. So let's get into it. First thing we need to do is get rid of the strings. Well, these strings were always coming off because, like I said in the last video, they're not great quality strings. And, I was always going to replace them anyway. But don't throw away your old strings, especially your high E string, because they come in really handy for cutting off things that have glue. Like, emblems and badges on your car and stuff. They're real good for taking those off. So, first things first, I'm going to take off our bridge. Then, I'm going to take off our electronic control cover. Then I will say, see right here, this is the problem. Get it unwound because it all bound up in there. See our white wire here, that's our main wire. Then we have this little ground wire, followed by the secondary. Well, like I said, it would be easy enough for me to solder this back together, but to do that I have to take the pickup apart. And before I got the kit, I'd planned on replacing the pickups in it because, these kit pickups are just really not that great. Of course, when I checked it out earlier, these, not so bad. Not so good, but not so bad. Now, a couple of folks have said that if this were their guitar, they would put the control panel on opposite the way I have it. They would do it like this. And hey, if you win the guitar, that's your option. Me, when I'm strumming, I don't want to hit my knob. So I do it this way. Now what we're going to do is unplug our pickup here, pull the wire out. Now, I'm just going to clip the wire, drop the pickup. Why? Because we're going to reuse our pigtail. Alright guys, now we have our old pickup right here. This is our new pickup. As you can see, if you compare the backs, the new pickup, this one, is obviously of substantial quality improvement over the one that came with the kit. The old one like this, you can see that winding wise are about the same, but the old one has this magnet that's glued in right here between this plate and this plate. On our new one, it doesn't have that because the poles are the magnets, and they are Alnico V magnets, or Alnico V if you're looking at it, because it's the Roman numeral 5. They're Alnico 3, 4, and 5 that we use in pickups. And in order to connect these wires to this wire, what I'm going to do is use some of these. These are Hesson's solder seal connectors. I got these off of Amazon, and I will put a link in the description. They come in 4 different sizes, and you will also want heat shrink tubing. Again, there will be an Amazon link in the description if you need some. I could solder this, but there really isn't any need to. Now, you see how our heat shrink tubing comes in about 3-inch lengths. Well, that's more than I need. So what I'm going to do is clip it in half, and then I have 2 lengths that'll cover my wires. Now, before I even get started, I want to put my heat shrink tube on my wires. That way I don't forget after I connect everything up, because once you do that, you are pretty much done. Now, if you don't have a pair of proper wire strippers, get a pair. These are cheap. This is like $5. And again, I'll look on Amazon. I've had these for years. But I'll look on Amazon, see if I'll find the cheapest ones on Amazon. I can, and I'll put a link to them. Now, you want to use the proper size hole for the wire you're stripping. That way, you're only pulling back the shielding and not tearing up the wire. Now, on this one, I'm using the 18 gauge, even though it's more like a 20 gauge. So then, I'm going to guess that the black is our ground and the red, and then the bare over on the other wire is our ground. So I'm going to dig through these and see what size I need. Well, obviously the white's too small. Let's try the red. Okay, red's actually kind of large. Let's try that white again. Actually, that does fit. Okay, so now, put our other end in. Get it buried in there. Now, for these are what are called solder and seal. You want to use a torch, which in this case is just a butane lighter in a torch head. You can just use a regular butane lighter for this, because this has a low melting point solder in it. And then, when you're done, you end up with a joint that looks like this. Now we're going to want to let that cool, and we're going to take another one and do the other connection. And you want to put your wire all the way through until it's in the inside, in the middle of that little gray part. The little gray or silver bit in the middle is the actual solder. So you want your wire to be in the exposed part of the wire, to be in there, so that when you melt the solder on top of it, it grabs the wire. Ooh, melty. You want to give it a little pull. Nope, this did not work. So, going along with our warts and all philosophy on doing this gig, our other one worked just fine. So, that one was a failure. So, we have more. We will just start over. Come on, get in there. Okay. And both wires are in there. I'm actually going to give this one a little bit of a crimp over the solder. Give us a little extra. And again, let it cool, and then we will test it. Because we're going to want to make sure that our seal is good. Okay. There we go, that's good and snug. Now, you can put this in the bridge. Now our kit does come with new screws and springs, which appear to be a little bit different than the ones that came with the kit. So, when in doubt, swap them out. Throw our new screws in there. Pull our springs apart. If I can. Come on, you. There we go. All right, now we lift up the bridge and it drops all the screws. So we can just flip it over and set our springs on it. And we want to take our pickup, get it roughly aligned on there, flip us over. Now we want to line up our screws with the pickup holes. Let's see. There's one. That one's a little looped off, which isn't a problem. You just back out your screw a little and then you can flip that around and get that connected. Now that should do us for swapping out our pickup. Now we'll move our stuff out of the way, slide our guitar back. The little red plastic clip that goes here disappeared on me. Now, before we complete this job, I want to slide my heat shrink tubing that I put over here. I want to slide that on because I'm going to heat shrink that to give us a little extra protection. I don't want these wires coming loose. And generally when your heat shrink turns glossy, it is fully shrunken. That one in place, and charge my torch. Down we go. And there we have it. All right, like I said, the red plastic end that goes in here disappeared on us, which is not the end of the world, because if you're doing a solder joint when you install new pickups, like the majority of times would be, then well, I just found it. It was actually inside the wood part, inside the cavity of the hole. That would explain why I couldn't find it. So let's take this part and figure out how this goes, shall we? Now we line up our keys, and then we see that our bare wire is to the inside, to this part. So that is where the bare wire is going to go on this part. Then I will slide our other wire into the other side and get that locked in. There we go. Now you just plug this back in. Make sure it's all good, and it is. Then we want to set our control plate back in place. Then we want to wrap up our now extra wiring. Set that down into the pickup cavity and drop our bridge into place. So now you're ready to put the screws back in it. I'm going to start with the bridge, and as last time, I will start with the outside, then I'll put the inside screws in, then we will tighten it or torque it from the inside out. It's actually one of the pickup screws. No big deal, it all works. So now, go inside. To the outside. Alright. And our control cavity, our control plate. That's cinched down. Alright, and there we have it. New Alnico V pickup in our Telecaster. Now I will do the setup later, but I'm just going to go ahead and try to preset our pickup here. Once I get the final strings on, then I'll be able to adjust this properly, and we will know where it needs to be. Alright, and there we have it. Our giveaway Telecaster, all ready to go, almost. I just need to do the setup on the neck, throw our new strings on it, then we can do a playing demo. I won't be the one doing the playing because I shattered my left forearm in a motorcycle crash a couple of years ago, and since then I don't have the fine motor dexterity that I used to have in my left hand, so I haven't been able to play. I'm working on it, but a year and a half of physical therapy and I'm not there yet, but I will get there. So I have made arrangements for a local musician to play the guitar, check it out, and give his honest, unbiased opinion of it. Now bear in mind, he has not watched the channel. He has not watched the build of the guitar, so he should have no preconceived notions of what it should sound like. I will basically bring it to him like this, obviously with strings after the setup, and I will say, here, play this, tell me what you think. Then you guys will get to hear him play it, hear how it sounds, and you will get to decide, what you think about how it plays. So, get entered. if you've only left a comment on 1 or 2 videos, you need to go back, watch all of the videos, leave comments on all of them. Because every video, and this is video number 16, every video you can get an entry into the giveaway. So if you only leave a comment on 1 or 2 videos, you only get 1 or 2 entries. If you leave a comment on all 16 videos so far, there will be more videos, at least another 2. Then you get 16 videos so far, 18, maybe 18, 19, however many videos it ends up being before we give it away. That's how many it will be. The next video will be the setup, then there will be the demonstration, so there should be 2 more videos. The setup will be Friday, and then Monday's video will be the demonstration. And then we'll have the cutoff, because Wednesday, I'll be announcing the winner. How's that? This is wrapping up. After today, you have 2 more chances to enter to win. So, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't watched the first video already, it'll be right there. If you haven't seen the most recent video on the channel, like if you're watching this in the future and you want to see, the most recent upload, right there. So that's it for today. Till next time, this is your Guitar Goomba Lucky saying, keep rocking.